Well, hi, good morning, and it's me, Dave B, from Under Blue Skies, and I just wanted to use this setting to start off the review of March. And as you can see at the moment, it's quite windy, so maybe I'm not going to do the whole video here, but as I say, I just wanted to use this because I thought it was a nice backdrop. As we have the sea in the background, we have Capstone Hill, and I'm sitting in front of the back, of the Landmark Theatre. So I'm going to go back to the studio setup now. Let's begin our look at March. And one of the first things that happened was that I was waiting patiently to hear what was happening about the film and when it was going to become a reality. And there were quite a few problems that beset it along the way. One of the questions that was asked was I going to get paid? Because to be perfectly honest, we didn't know. We didn't know what was happening. And then there were all sorts of obstacles put in the way by the college, or should I say the university. The big question mark over the case of payment was getting bigger by the moment, and there were more things being thrown into the equation that really sort of didn't endear them to me or to the other person that was involved, as far as I can tell. And so in the end I got that fed up of it that I just said, oh look, just forget it, just go with what you've got and just don't bother me about it anymore. Just let me know when the film's finished. And I was really fed up, upset, and not very happy. So anyway, as we move forwards, the film was uploaded onto the Vimeo web platform on the 7th of March, which is Alison's birthday. So it was a bit of a double celebration, really. And I was feeling really pleased at that point because the video was actually there. And I had a look through it. And the one thing that I was astounded by was the fact that there was no music. Now, bearing in mind that the whole idea was sold to me on the basis that my music from Somerset Story would be forming the backdrop, the musical backdrop of the whole film. And so when it wasn't there, I was a bit perplexed. So I contacted the director and I said, what's going on? Where's the music gone? And his response was, well, we've had to ditch the music. We've decided we're not going to use it. We're just not using any music. So I said, fair enough, that's okay. If that's the way you want to play it, that's fine. So on the 7th of March, as I say, it went live, and I blogged it on the 9th, and then I blogged it again the following week onto my Under Blue Skies channel. And the 7th of March was also, as I said before, it's Alison's birthday. And we had a family get together. We had a nice bit of food and a few laughs and all that sort of thing, as you do at birthday times. But it was marred somewhat by the weather. If you remember back to the beginning of March, the weather was absolutely awful. And it didn't get better for over a week. Alison was actually working over in Appledore at the time, and she was doubtful at one point whether she was actually going to get home for her birthday, because we just didn't know. The roads were terrible. Ilfracombe was cut off for a couple of days, and it was very treacherous at times. It was snow, and even more snow. But as I say, she did get out of Appledore. She did get into Ilfracombe. We spent the day or the evening together. Then she had to go back in the afternoon of the following day. And then a couple of weeks later, the snows returned again, Ilfracombe was very badly hit. I couldn't get to work on the first day that it snowed until sort of mid-morning or something like that. And only then it was passable because of having got a 4x4. Otherwise, if I'd have had a two-wheel drive, I don't think I'd have made it for a couple of days. Something that you may have seen at the beginning of some of my videos has come into play, something called Awakened TV. Now, Awakened TV came about on this trip to Glastonbury because I think I told you in the last video that I'd actually taken Delphine with me. And as you do, we were chatting and coaching one another on the way up and so on and so forth. And I happened to say that I had this idea for a TV station called, well, I didn't even know what it was going to be called, but I wanted it to be sort of personal development and all that sort of thing. She immediately came back and said that there are a couple of stations like that, and they are American. What we need to do is we need to be looking at putting together a British version, which I completely agree with. And so there was another lady involved, a lady called Carly. And Carly was also thinking along the same sort of lines, that with the experience that I've amassed over the years working in the media, that it might be a good idea to put that experience to use and to come up with a TV station. So it was like a gelling of the minds, shall we say, that we were all thinking along the same sort of lines, because it's never far away from my thoughts since the birth of Ilfracombe TV years and years and years ago, that I wanted to do a proper TV channel. So anyway, Awaken TV became the buzzword, and what I did was I put together a little taster, sort of explaining what Awaken TV is all about, and I sent that over to Carly, and I sent it to Catherine, who is one of the supporters of it. And the idea is that I actually talk about Awaken TV and show this taster trailer on Wednesday next at a meeting that I'm attending for the Wheel Project. We were actually working on something that was called the Hub, which was an alternative and complementary learning centre. And it was to be teaching life skills and that sort of thing. And then, as I say, when Natural Approach Group pulled away, we looked at how we were going to carry this on. And it was something that we decided we would call the Wheel. And it became known as the Wheel Project. So that was sort of midway through March. Now, alongside the Awaken TV situation, one of the other things that I have started, and some of you may have already been aware of that, is that I've brought back my podcasting. And there's two reasons for that. One, because I wanted to get Under Blue Skies more into the mainstream. And so one of the things that is very popular amongst the blogging community is that they do podcasts. So I thought, well, this is where I'm heading, so I need to jump on this as well. So I rebirthed the podcasts, and I have done the first one, which was just an introduction. The next one is I'm going to be talking about overcoming shyness for one of the topics. And we'll see how that goes, and if I have to pad it out with something else, then I will do. I've also got a chat coming up with Catherine about homeopathy. I've also got another one with my business partner in the Crystal Spring, Kaz, who's actually a home educator, as well as a Reiki master and crystal therapist and Indian hand massage practitioner and so on and so forth. But I want to actually feature her home education thing because I think that's something that's becoming more and more pertinent, and especially with the situation with the wheel, that home educators are part of our target audience, shall we say. So, as I say, I've started that podcast, and then I suddenly thought, well, I can't broadcast on my radio station for various reasons, and I don't want to really sort of bore you with that. So later in the month, I decided, right, what I would do is that I would start to transfer all my pagan radio shows onto another podcast. And so we've started, or I've started that, and I've gone right back to the beginning, and I've transferred 2010s, 11s, and 12s, and I'm now into 2013s. So I've still got a long way to go, but I was looking at the stats the other day, and the stats are looking quite healthy. So that's very exciting, and that podcast is the Cauldron FM one. So as that progresses, I'll keep you updated, and as things move forwards over the next month, I'll be jotting notes down furiously, ready to do another update at the end of April. So on that basis, I think I'm going to wind this review up. March has been in like a lion, out like a lamb sort of situation, and that's quite true. Of course, we had Easter last weekend, and it was very, very pleasant. The weather was nice. We had a bit of rain on Easter Monday, but apart from that, it was very nice, and we got quite a bit done that we wanted to do. So until the next time we speak, thank you very, very much for watching. I hope it's not been too disjointed, and I hope you've been able to follow what I've been talking about. As I say, I am going to be doing some more sort of podcast updates. I'm going to do some more video stuff. The homeopathy program will, I think, be a very, very interesting one. So I'll catch you again later. And until the next time, if you want to check out the blog, it's underblueskies.co.uk. I do use the hashtag, which is #UBSkies. Have a great day. Have a great month. I'll speak to you at the end of April or early May. So until the next time, bye-bye.